in the draft for Julio Jones, the Falcons might be trading the All-Pro receiver away. Atlanta's general manager was asked about that possibility, and he told reporters the team would listen to calls on trading away any player. The Falcons are reportedly interested in either drafting a quarterback or solidifying their offense in the draft. So, Shannon, would trading Julio be a mistake here?
Well, I don't know if trading Julio or you trying to solidify your offense, Skip. I still believe he's a top 3 receiver. He's the NFL. No player has averages more receiving yards per game than Julio Jones, 96. So that just lets you know. Now, injuries robbed him of his seasons last year, but he averaged, 85 yards a game last year, which was 7th in the league, more than Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf. We know what we think of those guys, Skip. Yep. But for me, if I can't trade Julio Jones and get me a top-flight defender, I'm not moving him. Okay, Chicago, you want Julio? Give me Khalil Mack. Yeah. Give me one of these elite. Green Bay, you want him? Give me Zadarius Smith. Skip, I'm not trading him for a draft pick because what draft pick you think you could possibly get that's going to be Julio Jones? Now, you're going to take a quarterback, Skip. I think with the deal that they've done with Matt Ryan, it's made it virtually impossible for them to get rid of him at least until the 2023 season. So is Matt Ryan going to be a bridge? That's a very expensive bridge that you got going to the next guy. But for me, Skip, Julio Jones, I think healthy is the best receiver in football. You look at the numbers, he's led the league in receiving yards twice. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time second-team All-Pro. It's hard for me to find 2 better receivers in all of football than Julio Jones. Big, fast, can run out the catch, contested catches, 50-50 balls, can get deep. I love everything there is about him. And guess what, Skip? Gives you no problems on or off the field. He can catch 1 pass or he can catch 15. He's the same Julio Jones. And Arthur Smith, coming from there where they had Corey Davis and A.J. Brown, I know what he thinks of A.J. Brown. Julio Jones is A.J. Brown 2.0. That's what he is. So for me, Skip, I wouldn't move Julio unless somebody especially not for next year, get a 2nd-round pick. Because his age, he is 30, I think he's turning 32.
He is 32.
He is 32. Mm-hmm. And, Skip, his contract. But for me, Julio still gives me tremendous bang for my buck. And if I can't get a top-flight defender, I'm not moving Julio.
Okay, so what do I see in Julio Jones right here, right now? He is an aging, more and more injury-prone receiver because he only played 9 games last year. But to your point, when he played, he played.
Yeah.
He put up some good numbers. Yes. He had 300-yard games. That Week 1 game was 157 against Seattle on 9 balls. Didn't catch a lot of touchdown passes, but again, he only played 9 games, caught 3 touchdowns.
He's never been a big touch. He's never been Davante Adams. He's never been a guy that Randy Moss or T.O. that has the double-digit touchdowns. But yardage, he has the 2nd most, 1871. He had a couple of 1,500-yard receiving seasons.
Yep. So what I would do, if I'm Atlanta and I have settled in on the fact that I'm going to take Kyle Pitts at number 4, then I would be good to move Julio because it's like A.J. Green. You sort of just wear out your welcome someplace where you just start to get tired of it. You need a change of scenery, and I still think he has a whole lot left.
Oh,
in fact, I believe he has more left than A.J.
Oh, I totally agree with that.
So, again, when he came out, he ran 4.34 at 6'3", 220. Do I think he can run 4.3? I don't at this stage in age, but I do think he could be extremely valuable. And the team he could be most valuable to me, is Baltimore, because Lamar has never had that guy, right? So if you revitalized him, rejuvenated him, even though he's in an offense that is not pass happy, obviously, I still think that they would throw it more if they had somebody to throw it to. And Julio would be that guy. He would be the missing piece to a Super Bowl puzzle, I think, in Baltimore. And because he's such a good, high-character guy, he would fit in, and I don't think he'd make any waves about, I only get 8 targets instead of 12 targets. So the point is, Baltimore now has 2 first-round picks. They have Kansas City's, which is, what, 2nd to last, okay? That's the kind of pick that would be equal value for Julio right now. If you gave Atlanta the 31st pick in the draft for Julio Jones, I would do that. You have to accept his contract. The problem is, if you do it right now, if you do it before June 1st, then Atlanta has to eat $23 million in dead cap money. If you wait until after June 1st, they have a savings of $15 million, which is what they're all about right now, is the savings.
Right.
So it doesn't probably work to do it immediately.
Right.
But I'm just saying Baltimore is in the prime position right now to go get Lamar what he needs. Listen, this draft is loaded with receiving talent. But
Which one you think going to be better
that's
than
what I'm
Julio?
saying. I'm with you on that. That's bingo. I agree. I don't know. Maybe one of them will, but I wouldn't bet on it. Kyle Pitts, I would bet on him. I think he will have a career like Julio's, if not a little better. He's just transcended. He's going to be the best player at any position in this draft, including quarterback. He will be better at his position than any of those 5 top quarterbacks.
But Skip, I don't think Atlanta's problem is on the offensive side of the football.
Okay.
Now, I get it if they get Kyle Pitts, but who are they going to stop? Remember they had that big lead? It wasn't offense. Offense got them the lead. Their defense couldn't hold the lead. Remember in the Super Bowl? They won 28-3.
They were.
So the problem is you keep saying, okay, Kyle Pitts would look good in the black and red. But who are they going to stop?
Well, they were up on Dallas 29-10 at halftime.
Well,
I think it was
39-20.
39-20.
Yeah, they ended up losing 40-39.
40-39. And Matt Ryan threw a party on Tampa later in the year. It was the third to last game, the one at Atlanta. And they were, I don't remember the score, but go look at the numbers.
They might have been up 20 to nothing, 17 nothing.
He threw for 300 in the first half. And here came Brady. Boom, 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 because they had the worst pass defense in pro football and the 5th worst of all time in pro football.
Yes.
So I got it. Now, I've inherited 2 members of that pass defense, and they're going to be starters for me. What does that say for my Cowboys?
Good job.
Yeah, way to go. We even got the coach. We got the coach.
Even better job.
Yeah, way to go, Jerry. So that's good. If you can't beat them, join them. Wait, we did beat them.
Yeah.
We came back on it. What? Okay. So the point is, Julio could be a life changer for a team in dire need. And you could argue New England, you could argue Baltimore, Chicago would be in the mix. But to me, he's a Raven. He'd be a good fit for the Ravens because he's a good guy.
Well, they say, well, give me Marlon Humphrey.
Maybe.
I want a defense, Skip. I want an impact. I want an impact defensive player, and that's what they need in Atlanta. They need more of that. I love Grady Jarrett. Dante Fowler's okay, but they need secondary. Terrell, he gonna have to play better, Skip, because we saw what happened to him. He got benched in the national championship game, Clemson against LSU. Atlanta takes him in the first round. And he's got torched all the last year. Now, he had an opportunity to make a play because, remember, he dropped the touchdown. He dropped the interception that would have sealed a win against Kansas City.
Yep. So Julio has 3 years left on his deal. The cap hits are 23, 19, and 19. Well, just for balance on this, for perspective, my guy Amari, off a rotten year that he had 2 years ago, he got a deal, and his cap hits are, for the next 4 years, 22 every year.
Yeah.
So they're
Who you take, Julio or Amari?
Thank you. Well, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you on that. But my point is, even his cash value of what he makes each year, Amari is 20 every year, and Julio's cash value for his last 3, 15, 11.5, 11.5. So Amari's contract is considerably better for 4 years than Julio's is for 3. So my point is, this contract, I would consider it a bargain. I don't think it's hard to swallow. For Julio Jones.
I think the cap number scares people away, Skip, because, $20+ million for a wide receiver. Now, quarterback, you can stomach that. A top-flight defensive lineman, because I can only imagine what Aaron Donald's cap number is, but he's a top-flight defensive lineman. You try to stay away from those kind of big numbers from someone that's not a quarterback on the offensive side of the football. But Julio Jones is still elite, Skip.
Okay. He is still elite. The one thing that has always bothered me a little bit about Julio, just to be completely objective, the one thing I always loved about Terrell Owens, my man T.O., he had all kinds of issues going on, but the one thing that Terrell Owens did was he played with a rage, he played crazy hard every snap. Julio plays without passion to me. He just plays, but he's really good at it, but it's not like he's a team igniter where you feed off his plays.
For me, Julio is the closest thing to T.O. That's what, when I saw him,
he doesn't play like that. His body language isn't that way. He doesn't play with that kind of emotion. He plays with no emotion.
No, he don't play. Skip, he's really, if you've ever been around him, He's quiet. He doesn't do a whole lot of
I
talking.
think they've trained together.
Yeah,
Julio and
they do.
T.O. Yeah.
When I first saw him, the first thing I said, that's T.O. He's built like T.O.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he's bigger than T.O. T.O. goes 6'3", 215, maybe